well-known name, Cristiano Ronaldo. How old was he when you first came across him?
17 he was.
And how did he first hit your radar screen?
It was a great story because I had Carlos Queiroz as my assistant, and Carlos, of course, is Portuguese. And he thought it would be a good idea for us to have an association, a relationship with the Sporting Lisbon, because he'd been there as a kid, and he was from Lisbon. And he set it up. And what we were doing then was sharing coaching. So we would send coaches over there, and they would send coaches to us. And Jim Ryan, who was head of our youth department at the time, youth scouting rather, he came back and says, well, I've seen a player. And he was playing centre forward in the youth team at the time, Cristiano Ronaldo. So I says to Carlos, I says, you know, would be a good idea if maybe we had a bigger relationship here. And he spoke to the president, and the deal was that we couldn't get him the next year, but we could get him 2 years from then. Then Carlos left me the next year. We had promised through the association with him, the relationship, we'd opened a new stadium.
This is at Sporting Lisbon?
Sporting, that's correct. And we flew from the States, from here, to Lisbon and played a game. And Cristiano's playing outside left against John O'Shea, and the poor souls, he's got tortured blood. Tell me, honestly. He's absolutely annihilated. And I'm up there, I'm going, John, get him against him. He says, I can't. So I get my kit manager, says, get up there to the director's box and get Peter Kenyon down right away at half-time. So Peter Kenyon came down, I says, we're not leaving here.
Peter Kenyon was the then chief executive of United.
Time. Yeah. And says, we're not going to go leaving here without that boy in the plane. So then we got a little room after the game with the president of Lisbon, his agent, his lawyer, and the boy. And I said, I want you to come back with us to Manchester. Now that's an acid test. If he doesn't want to come, you know he doesn't want to join you. He says, yeah, I'd love to come, but I want my mother here. So it's great. Next morning, his mother, his sister, his brother, the whole troop come out. And I said to him, I promise you one thing, you'll get the best education you can possibly get here, but you won't play every week. And he looked at him like that, you know, and he was impressed. He said, you know, he didn't expect that. I says, the Premier League is a very difficult league. And you may play substitute, sometimes you may play an odd game, you may play in the League Cup, which we do have a lot of young players. And but we said, but when do you get in the first team? Well, if you get to a level that's Manchester United, that can't stop you. You pick yourself. And he played his first game. He was subbing in the first game of the season against Bolton. They came on at half-time. A crowd went absolutely mad on him. It was fantastic. The courage to take the ball. The right back of Bolton whacked him right in the first minute. He came on in the second half. He got him and says, give me the ball. You know, the great players have got this courage. Nothing will daunt them. They're not afraid of anything. And Cristiano had that.
And how, when he first came to Manchester, I think he came with his mother and sister
they all
came up, right?
Yeah.
How disciplined was he in his sort of daily ritual at that point?
Well, it was the best practice that I've ever known. But he had these, what you call Latin American faults.
You can get arrested for saying that in the state of California.
And it's a simple fault which can be eradicated if the boys get the right desire and the discipline and listen to us. And he was diving as a young kid. And
diving to try and get a penalty.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And the players were great with him. Every time he'd go down, he'd scream, and the players were going screaming him back, and yeah, get up here, you know that. And I used to get him all the time. The unfortunate thing for Ronaldo, because he was such a great player, the press never left him alone in that situation, you know, because after about a year and a half, it never happened. But any time he was fouled, somewhere along the line, the critics would say, oh yeah, he dives. But no, it's not true. Because the speed he was going at, against defenders. All you need to do is nudge them a little bit and the ball scores and they go down. But he wasn't purposely dying.
Did the criticism get to him at
No,
all?
not a bit, not a bit. No. I remember he came off that period, that season when Rooney was sent off, and he says he wasn't going to come back. And I flew out to Portugal and I said to him, look, he wanted to go to Real Madrid. It was always his lifetime ambition to do that. And I said, look, you give me a year and you're going with my blessing to Real Madrid. He was fantastic. But the first game was at Charlton. And I sat in the director's box and there's this guy down in front of me, he's up and he is giving him so much, the cursing and the language. And then about 5 minutes from the half time, he got the ball, he beat 3 men, cut in, hit the other side of the bar. The guy never got up again. That was him finished. He had the courage to do all that.
And Cristiano today, considerable, many years later now, does he still have the same sort of drive and work ethic? Or?
I've never known anyone like him, honestly. I was at his house for dinner a few months ago, and his house is made for the best player in the world, no doubt about that.
How's that?
The gymnasium's probably about half the size of this. Well, a bit size here. He's got everything in it. He's got 2 pools. He's got a hot pool and a cold pool. He's got an ice room at minus 160 degrees. He goes in there for 10 minutes after every game. He's just unbelievable. And I says to him, he says to me, I'm going to retire at 35. I said, you're not retiring at 35. You can play to your 40 easily. Ryan Giggs has played to his 41. He said, no, I'm doing that, and I'm working on making sure I'm 3 kilograms down on my best weight the last 5 years. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Right.
Amazing.